Good morning, everyone. Today we will be reading the Murli dated 4th February 1975. In today's Murli, Baba has compared us with the Chatrak bird because as the Chatrak bird swallows every drop, in the same way, we also listen to this knowledge and merge it into ourselves. In today's Murli, Baba has answered some questions like why sometimes our intellect doesn't get concentrated during yoga. Also, Baba is teaching us technique how to keep our account clear. Also, Baba is teaching us by which technique we can keep Maya away from us. So let's start with today's Murli. Title of the Murli is Receiving Precious Pearls and Infallible Power only by merging knowledge in yourself. All confluence-aged elevated souls are like chatra, thirsty for nectar birds. Just as it is said of oysters that they turn drops of water into pearls by accumulating them in themselves. In the same way, what do all the elevated versions or words of knowledge that you hear and imbibe become? You also turn them into pearls. And each word here becomes one that makes you a multimillionaire. Each word becomes invaluable when you imbibe it. Each word becomes invaluable when you imbibe it. Just as a chatrak bird swallows every drop, in the same way, you also listen to this knowledge and merge it into yourself. What practical form is visible from merging it into yourself? It is just as when someone's every thought, every word, and every deed becomes the basis for accumulating multi-millions. That is, with the words spoken at every second, that soul is visible as a multi-billionaire. The happiness and intoxication of physical wealth is visibly sparkling on his face. But it is still only temporary. However, the sparkle of happiness is constantly and clearly visible on the faces of those who are thirsty for knowledge. The sparkle of happiness is constantly and clearly visible on the faces of those who are thirsty for knowledge. Do you see your sparkle in the mirror with your third eye at every moment? Do you check your account of accumulation every second? Do you have the practice of keeping a clear account of how much debit and how much credit you have in your account? Do you make special time to check your account? Now, Baba is teaching us that how to check our account. If there is an income earned at one moment and a loss the next, if there is a lot of this fluctuation, you would then have to make special time to think about it, to check it, and do something about it. If there is a constant income and you are only accumulating all the time, if there is no question of any loss, that is, If your account is clear, then are you able to do your accounts whenever you want in a second? Do you check your result? At present, you are the ones who inspire other souls to burn away the sins in their accounts of many past births. So, are you not able to create your account like this? All of those are old accounts, whereas you are the ones who finish the old accounts and start the new accounts of your new birth. Do you experience all your old accounts finishing? If you do not know the method to completely finish the old accounts, then the little account that remain will continually make your conscience bite. Here also, if there is a little debt to Maya, then that creditor constantly harasses you. Such a debt is also known as a worry. Here, there are some debts to Maya in the old accounts too. And this is why Maya distresses you again and again, or comes to you in some form of a mental debt. You have to settle that debt. So, check your account and see that no debt remains in the form of some thought, sanskar, or nature. Just as any physical illness or debt doesn't allow the intellect to become concentrated or stable, but pulls your attention to itself again and again, even against your will. In the same way, the mental depth of any form of illness doesn't allow the yoga of the intellect to become concentrated, but becomes an obstacle instead. This is why sometimes you are not able to concentrate our intellect during the yoga. Now, the time of completion is very close. So, check all your accounts and finish any remaining accounts. You know how to do your accounts, do you not? You are master knowledgeful, are you not? The depth of the old accounts will either be in the form of sinful thoughts or in the form of a particular sanskar or nature. From these things, check as to whether all your thoughts are unified. You also only remember one. That is, you try only to remember the one, but something else happens. What pulls you towards itself and why? Is there some burden that pulls you towards itself? Anything light will never come down. It will stay in the stage of ascent. However, any type of burden will not go up, no matter how much you try to make it ascend. It will only come down. In the same way, check your thoughts, words, deeds, connections, and service throughout the day. What we have to check? Check your thoughts, words, deeds, connections, and service throughout the day. In service too, why is there a difference between your plans and the practical form in your thoughts and deeds? If you think about the reason for this, you will clearly be able to see that because of one or another weakness, there is a difference between the plans and the practice. You lack one particular power out of all powers. When a soldier doesn't go onto the battlefield with all his equipment, and at the time of need, he needs even an ordinary weapon, and because he lacks even that, there is damage caused. So, here too, you need to have all the powers working together. That is, you need to have all your weapons. With your intellect, you may be judging that something is ordinary, but even that ordinary matter deceives you when the time comes. And this is why your title is a Master Almighty Authority. The Father is the Almighty Authority, and the children are the Master Almighty Authorities. To be victorious means to be one with all weapons. Together with checking, why are you not able to bring about change? There will only be change when you have all powers merged within yourself. There will only be change when you have all powers merged within yourself. That is, together with being knowledgeful, you also need to be balanced with powerful. If you are 75% knowledgeful and have 3 to 4 marks less in being powerful, even then, you still need to have an accurate balance. The result of being knowledgeful is the planning, and the result of being powerful is the practical form. The result of being knowledgeful is the planning, and the result of being powerful is the practical form. The result of being knowledgeful is to have the thoughts, and the result of being powerful is to become the embodiment. The closeness or equality of the two means to become an equal form in both aspects. That is, to become perfect. The more you keep yourself busy in knowledge and yoga, the creditor automatically will have less courage and time to come to you. The more you keep yourself busy in knowledge and yoga, the creditor automatically will have less courage and time to come to you. Acha, Om Shanti. Now let's stay in silence for a few minutes. Then we will share our journeys. Om Shanti. I request all the members to share the journeys.
Om Shanti. The Murli is a short Murli, but full of dharana. But from the beginning of the Murli, Baba is focusing today on dharana. And the point the analogy which he started, how the oyster makes water drops into pearls, and comparing that to the words of knowledge, he says that it's not just listening to the knowledge, but imbibing that knowledge makes you invaluable. And that those words becomes invaluable. And when you imbibe it, you become multimillionaire. So what I was getting when I was reflecting on this statement is how much deep are the words of knowledge, and a simple transformation from in the practical life. If we look at in the space of getting irritated, if we just catch ourselves and stay there as an with the consciousness that each person here is a soul and they are in their journey, just bringing that knowledge into practical form will make so much of difference in our way of being. Om Shanti.
Wonderful, sister. Yes, Kirja sister, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just trying to unmute myself. I always liked this lovely version for knowledge of the question of dharna, which Baba compares with a chatrak bird. I used to always love that explanation. So I used to go down deep into it. If you see that chatrak bird, it's got its beak, they say, on its head. And that bird is very unique because just like they say, it has got a kind of a spiritual connection because it only collects in its beak the rainwater that pours. It does not even take the collected rainwater. I've not seen that bird. I really would love to go behind the biology of that bird. What is that which makes it to collect only the rainwater which pours? So you can see rain is pouring, the chatrak bird goes and it just collects it in its beak. So it may be thirsty or at any time or anywhere, but it only collects that. So I always love this kind of, are you thirsty like the chatrak bird? Or you that? So similarly, when the knowledge is pouring, how we like the chatrak bird just take out our beak, our intellect and go and pull it down and put it in my account. I like that. I think it would be so wonderful, really, if we had a whole Murli only on Chatrak bird and its process, how it does, how it was created, and that bird. I always loved this concept of the bird. to say that it doesn't, it may be thirsty, it may be anything. Similarly, we may have so many other urges, so many other desires, so many other things. But like the Chatrak bird, we should only take the distilled knowledge, the clear knowledge, which we are receiving it in such a beautiful form in this conference age. I think this is the first thing I would like to share. It is so intoxicating to compare myself with the Chatrak bird and understand, am I really waiting, taking, putting in my account? Om Shanti.
Wonderful, sister. It is really intoxicating to compare ourselves with Chatrak bird.
Om Shanti, sister. Good morning.
Om Shanti.
So I like this line where Papa says difference between the plan and the practical form that takes place. Right. So some area we should be able to plan it well, but when it comes to execution, we'll not be able to get to the right way that we expect. So it's because of Baba clearly says that it's because of our weaknesses. So the weaknesses comes because of our dharana is weak. So when we become an embodiment of all the dharanas, right, it becomes easy. So here Baba says, so we need to check our thoughts, words, and connection, and the service also throughout the day. So that's a checking point that I've taken for me to do this checking throughout the day. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Very nice, brother.
Another reflection on today's Murli is when Baba speaks about the debit and the credit account. And he says, even if a small account is unclear, that will keep bothering you. So being complete with whatever happened in the past and moving forward in this journey is what I was getting as a reflection on this, where Baba says that if you do not know the method on to completely finish the old accounts, then the little accounts that remains will constantly make your conscience bite. So your conscious, subconscious, somewhere it will keep on coming again and again, and will get you out of the self-respect seat that you're practicing in your new birth as a Brahmin soul. So that's another point which I liked from today's Murli.
Yeah, very nice. Just I would like to add one more thing here. So the reason here, I think overall, if you look at it, the impurity that got accumulated within us, which is actually causing all this problem. So our effort would be to take Baba's knowledge and apply it, and then do yoga as much as possible in order to clear out all those impurities within us. So if you look at this Yajna history, if you look at Mama, especially one example if you take, right? So Mama is shown as a perfect example for every part of knowledge. So I heard recently in one of the class that the power of purity that Mama possessed. So it says that, when Brahma Baba says Murli, right? So Mama will go and sit beside Baba, Sakar Baba, and Sakar Baba start the Murli, right? And Mama does not have any pen or a book with her, and others will be carrying. And when Baba finishes the Murli, it'll be only Mama will be able to catch every word of Murli. Just the way how Sakar Baba said the Murli, word by word, sentence by sentence, in that same sequence, in the same order, Mama would be able to repeat, not even missing even a single word out of it. So how Mama is able to do it? It's because of the power of purity that she has possessed, Mama has possessed. So how purity should come within us is we should not be thinking anything waste about not only about us but also about the world or um, anything. We should be always focusing on seeing other man's virtues, good wishes and pure feelings about others, not even have the slightest trace of it within us. So that that's the foundation. That's what I got to know from that class. So each one of us, when we work towards the journey and we continue to clear out all that impurities within us, and eventually we become perfect. And that's when we will get to a stage where we can observe every word that which Baba says, when we become powerful and when we become, zero wastage stage. Then we'll have that much power to observe every word that Baba says. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Wonderful, brother.
Adding on to what brother just mentioned, how do we look at practically? Of course, in the alokik world, we get imbibe the knowledge, listen to each word of Baba. But the point that brother brought across, while we are listening to in the practical world, while we come into connections and relationships, while we listen to others, most of the time, the way we listen is, what is the next that I wish to talk while the person is talking? If somebody is telling me something, what should be my response? So many times when we focus on that, that's where we're bringing in impurity in our way of listening as well. So while brother was sharing the example of Mama, that she was able to recreate everything that Baba used to say in sequence. And that's because her entire 100% was there in listening to what Baba was talking. So while we are coming in relationship and connections with others, can I bring in the same thing as a practice, which will allow me to be in the state of purity all the time? That was the reflection of what I was getting, how to imbibe it practically and keep on practicing cleaning up or being pure all the time. Thank you.
Om Shanti, sister. I was just connecting with what Rakhi Ben and the brother was mentioning. You see, if these two examples, number one and number two, Mama, Baba and Mama. Baba was just a collector, like as if he's collecting the raindrops. 2 a.m. he used to sit up, get up, and then Shiv Baba used to really pour the rain on him, and he used to write and write and write. And we were given a kind of sharing. Mama used to really wait on that corner, looking at it to see when Baba is going to share. So that first raindrop which came down, the first person, like a chatrak bird who was waiting in the corner and waiting for it to collect, was Mama. She, luckily, she never had any other doors to go to before she came to the Gyan. Her first thing was only Baba and Baba. So the question of taking any other water or any other impurity or any other knowledge, she was a soul destined. Her intellect was really focused on it because we needed that. We needed the first knowledge which was accumulated for us and later to be given to us. It had to be absolutely, absolutely distilled. And also that's why they were number one and number two. So that's the thing which we are getting. But what about me? I have been to so many this because Mama, if you see, as Baba said, just that same thing, not even a thing, no question. So many instances they can say when Baba was saying, Alwa banao jana hai, she didn't even think, she just went forward. So that kind of belief do you have on the water given? Just see, for that I'll have to separate myself like an oyster from all other things and everything else. Then that knowledge becomes like a pearl, a priceless pearl. So this is something very number one and number two. Okay, I can't become number one and number two. In order to help me, that's why if you see today, I was just making a flow chart over here. If you see, Baba ended the Murli with knowledge and yoga. So if you take a downward arrow in the Murli, busy in knowledge and yoga, it'll happen when you're perfect. Perfection will come when you're equal, equality and closeness. For this, your thoughts and embodiment of the thoughts must be there. There must be knowledgeful and powerful, practical and theory. So this last two paragraph which Baba said, he has given us, how do I try to become a little at least like number 2 mama. So if we go through all these things, thoughts, embodiment, knowledgeful, powerful, do I have all the powers? That part was the action plan. And what a lovely banker Baba is. He's looking at my passbook of debit and credit. And he's saying, do you have all the credit? So like a passbook, even though it is operated by the banker, he's not going to check and see what is it. But I have to check. The customer, I check to see what is my credit. Oh, this debit, how did it happen? And I check. I would love that single line on credit. I think that was also a good job Baba has given to check how many minuses I had during the day and how many pluses I had during the day and what is my end. Is it the balance increasing or decreasing? I think all this, the mathematics and the management kind of action plan and the intoxication is what was covered in today's Murli.
Wonderful, sister. You have wonderfully summarized your whole Murli in the form of chart. Dr. Jigna, you want to share something?
Yes. Om Shanti. My takeaway from this Murli. I will listen to the knowledge and merge it into myself throughout my life in every action, word, and deed. Om Shanti.
Very nice, sister. Om Shanti. Radhamani sister has shared in the chat box. To be victorious means to be one with all weapons. Girja sister has shared, I am Baba's Chaturuk bird. I collect only the distilled knowledge from just one source. Radhamani sister has shared, we must check our thoughts, words, and deeds, connections, and service throughout the day. And again, she has shared, together with knowledgeful, we must be powerful. Wonderful, sister. Anything else?
Sister, I had a small doubt. Not doubt, just a thing. If you see in the first paragraph, Baba has said, if you look at your account, you should have only credit. See, I am making my credit so that I can burn my old samskaras, I can burn my old debit. 63 births, how can Baba expect me that I don't have any debit to clear? So in my account, definitely it won't be a single line. There will be 6, anyone, whether it's me or number 1 or number 2, they all have debits. So when Baba mentioned about that, is it not nice to look at your account if there is only accumulation, 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 no loss, no loss, no loss? So I was just narrowly trying to understand that paragraph. How Baba it can be like that? Could you just throw some light on it, sister?
Can anyone answer?
Sorry, it's the third paragraph.
Okay. Anyone would like to answer Teacher Sister's question? Yeah, I think by reading it again and churning it, we can get the essence of it.
Then, are you talking about the para where Baba speaks about Maya, which is third paragraph?
Oh, not that. See that third paragraph at the end, where he says, do you see your sparkle in the mirror? And that one line that Baba said, if there's no question of any loss, that one line just hit me. I said, Baba, how can it be? In my account, some debit will be there, and I'm putting money in my account only for using. Take, for example, even a local passbook, I need some money to take care of my household. So how can only money, see, where there is income, there has to be spending. That's the law of economics. Just that one part. What does Baba mean? No question of any loss.
If I can connect your question to this paragraph that I'm reading right now, the third paragraph where Baba says that Maya will, in your old accounts, have some debits, and you need to clean that debit in your current birth. That's what I understand on this reflection point. It's not about not having credits or having complete credit all the time. He is practically mentioned in the paragraph there that Maya in the old will be there in the old account, and this is why Maya distresses you again and again, or comes to you in some form of a mental debt. Debt. You have to settle that debt. So check your account and see that no debt remains in the form of some thoughts, sanskars, or nature. So I'm getting a reflection here is Baba is talking about that, yes, there's going to be some debt in your old births, and that will show up. So it's only in this birth that you have an opportunity to clean all of this. So clean it and accumulate and have your credit higher than your debt. That is one reflection that I was getting. Others can share the thought.
And the other thing, just adding on to it, as we go on with our Purushat, right? So I believe, and we can compare it with our old days also, right? When we started the kind of action that we were performing, where the wastage would have been more compared to now what we are doing. The wastage is comparatively less, which means the debt is also less, which means the accumulation is getting, one side, it's getting accumulated. So when the usage is less, automatically the accumulation will remain, right? So when we continue this journey for a long time, which means our weaknesses will slowly end, right? And then I guess towards the end, when we reach a stage of karmatit where all our vikarmas, everything, past births, sinful action, whatever we have committed so far, all will be cleared. And then we become perfect, where we only be doing good karmas in remembrance of Baba, which will go in the account of credit, and where we will not be doing any sinful action, or we will not have any weak thoughts where it causes a debt to us. That's what I guess Baba mentioned here.
Yeah, I think the sister, that is Rakiben, who shared, he spoke about increasing credit. As she went to that paragraph, I immediately went to the next paragraph. There is one line where Baba is saying, you know how to do your accounts. Do you not? That challenged me. It's as if that question was directly for me, because being in accountancy for the past 40, 50 years, I was saying, yes, Baba. So what I felt is, you see, in any bank account, they'll have an account where we cannot withdraw. We have to just keep putting like a recurring deposit, put money, and then at the end of the year accumulation, you'll have a large amount. So I said, so Baba, you want me to open one more account where I do not touch any, no Maya, no old samskar is there. So you want me to create what, it was just like it was coming down. And then somebody just added, increase your credit. That's when that thing coming. Maybe Baba wants me to put my money in some other account where I can never withdraw. Where it is, there is a banking system like that. So that way, no loss, no thing. So I was just working on that angle. It's nice. Sometimes Baba even works on the various subjects which you learn in your Lokik life and tries to make out of it. I got the point over here, as the brother even shared, how to keep ticking, no minus, because it's easy for any person to do an account if there's only plus, no minus. I think I should work on that to see how do I create an account where only accumulation, where the law says no taking away. As if Baba wants me to have such an account at the end, because I need a heavy credit.
Right. And here there is a difference between Laukik account and Laukik account. So if we compare with Laukik account, of course, we'll have to use some amount. We'll have to withdraw and use it for our day-to-day life. But here, the kind of knowledge that Baba giving, and we practically become that, follow that, right, then it's only accumulation. There is no loss. So there is no debt, it's only credit.
So Simran, you were unmuting yourself. Would you like to share?
Yeah, Om Shanti. I was actually reading the Murli, and from the first para itself, Baba had started talking about debt, and it's the debt of Maya, and he's very clearly saying that it is Maya's debt is nothing but your worries, and that will come in the form of your thoughts or your old sanskars. In spite of you not, you want to have control over it, but you cannot. That is the debt. But he goes on to say that presently this is Sangam Yug, and in every thought, in every second, you can gain multi-millions. What he talks about Padma Padam. So if you take the profit and loss account, when you're in Sangam Yug, although debt is there, till Kal Yug there was a debt we made our karmas with our thoughts and our actions. Now in Sangam Yug, with every powerful, empowering thought, we are making multi-millions. So if the credit is going higher and higher. So that is the only way to clear our debts. Have the Swaman. Your thoughts are the main ones. So that's why then, and how will that come? Once the connection with Baba makes us so powerful that every thought of ours is empowering. And so automatically the credit is increasing and the debit is decreasing.
and that to credit in multi-millions that he has mentioned. So definitely it will be a good savings account with a good credit. Om Shanti.
Wonderful, sister. Now let's move on to the meditation. I, the soul, is situated in the center of the forehead. I am a shining, sparkling star. I am Baba's Chatrak bird. I, the soul, only listen to the Baba's knowledge, imbibe it, and convert it into the pearls. I, the soul, constantly have the sparkle of happiness on my face. I, the soul, is free from all depths of Maya. I am double light. I am a victorious soul. I am a knowledgeful soul. I, the soul, keep an accurate balance of knowledge and yoga. I constantly keep myself busy in knowledge and yoga, and therefore Maya always remains away from me. Om Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Om Shanti. With the practice of who I am is a knowledgeful soul and a powerful soul, as is Raman from today's Murli. Let's have a wonderful day. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Sakshi Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.